Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a pretty exciting introduction of Franklin Richards, the most powerful Fantastic Four member that's joining Marvel Strike Force today. So in today's video, we're going to be deep diving his kit. We're going to be taking a look at preemptively what upgrades make the most sense. Likely, probably everything, but in case you guys also missed it from the blog as well earlier this week, we have tons of things going on with this respective team as well. We have the Baxter Building event releasing, and as well, I do believe there should actually be a Danger Room coming around the corner here, and I don't see it in the preview state yet, but maybe they'll just add it last second. Who knows? But in the meantime, guys, in case you also missed it, I made a video yesterday, actually, guys, on a huge potential trap here for Franklin Richards. The original game plan was that upon his release today, I was gonna actually core for him, do my usual thing and just go through his review. But it turns out, guys, we saw last night in the data mines that there could very well be a strong possibility of a power core spending event early next week. So as per my previous video, guys, I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But just basically my game plan is waiting for the blog post tomorrow. I'm gonna see how that looks first before I do anything, but obviously circle back with you guys as per usual. But in the meantime, that's just my 2 cents, guys. I think it's very powerful to have patience in this game, especially when it's management of resources. And after all, it is just waiting a day to see what the blog says tomorrow, and then we can go ahead. I don't think the meta is going to shift in a day or two from the arena meta perspective, maybe on the bottom side of it with folks trying to climb up. But in the meantime, I want to see what that officially says before I do anything with my power cores, especially knowing that I'm going to be using anywhere north of 7,000-8,000 plus respectively just for his unlock here. So anyways, guys, I'll link that video below if you want to see the details of it. But either way, let's go on here now with the review. So Franklin Richards, he is bringing in a completely new, different condition for the game, and that's why he's going to be very pivotal in the arena meta. He is going to turn it upside down with some of these abilities, and we'll talk about that real quickly here. But guys, for your reference as well, for my game plan anyways, he is a hero cosmic bio character, so 100% he is coming into Age of X with me. I'm 100% bringing him up so that way he helps me unlock Xavier, especially knowing that he is actually a cosmic hero character, which can be used in the last section of the saga. But on top of that, he's also bio, which is nice if you haven't used those resources as well. So really helps out, especially given that last leaderboard event there. So Powerhouse Pitch, his basic ability, he's going to flip one negative effect into positive effects into himself, and then as well attacking the primary and adjacent targets for percentage damage, in addition to flipping once again positives into negatives, which is the other way around. So really cool that he actually has kind of that manipulation already of his abilities, and that's only his basic, guys. So he does more as you level this up. He's going to be flipping negatives to more positives, and then vice versa. Finally, the T4 is going to be flipping 3 for each, right? So it's a very powerful basic ability, and I love the fact that it also hits more than one target. So yeah, this is already a strong upgrade, guys. I suspect we're probably gonna have to upgrade everything, but it's just a matter of importance. So the basic is strong as it is, but let's take a look at the other abilities before we make that decision. But for sure, this is a must upgrade right here, just because of the added damage and value of the buffs, the debuffs, and vice versa. Star Forge Striker special ability, attacking primary and adjacent targets for 80% damage. As we level this ability up, it's very similar to the basic, right? He's gonna be flipping all the positives into negatives on the primary and secondary targets. He also copies all positive effects as well, which is really nice for the special ability on top of that, because it's gonna give buffs to the team, right? But on top of that, guys, just keep in mind as well, it does exclude taunt, stealth, and regen. So defense up and whatnot, those things are gonna stick, but not these other ones that are specifically excluded. And then this is what I'm talking about earlier. He can actually misclick right there, sorry about that. He can actually spread it all from himself to allies, which provides even though he's going to be doing notable damage, he's also providing support, which is really nice. And then last but not least, T4 upgrade here is that he's going to be doing significantly more damage, and if he does have 2 or more Fantastic Four MCU allies, he's also reducing the duration of the safeguard by 2. So any kind of enemies that you're up against, they're going to be watchful for this ability, because you can actually reduce that safeguard, making them vulnerable for obviously debuffs, and able to take them down with some of the buffs that are actually flipped into negatives, right? So it's a really cool kit that he has. We have Starfall Ultimate ability. If this character has 2 or more Fantastic Four allies, he's also going to be reducing the duration of all positive effects once again. So again, reducing and possibly removing the safeguard that's on the enemies that you're up against, attacking all enemies for percentage damage. And also, this ability cannot be blocked excuse me, it cannot be dodged, and also gains additional focus if he actually has 2 or more allies, and also unavoidable as well. So this is definitely going to hit like a truck. And this is what I noted earlier with that unique condition. He's applying silence to all enemies for 2 turns, especially if he has 2 or more allies. But what I like is that he's going to be doing this even in a plug-and-play aspect, but having the extra MCU allies is really what's going to be notable here. He also has a battlefield effect that we're going to talk about in a bit here, but this future foundation is going to be on the enemy side, not the ally side. And then, respectively, this is where he's going to have value in arena meta, right? And, this battlefield effect cannot be cleared or replaced by another battlefield effect and lasts until 8 characters, not 8 turns, 8 characters have completed their turns. So that's quite a ways, guys. That's almost having a full round of both sides going through the motions, right? So that's why it's very important. He's going to prevent that from actually, you know, having other battlefield effects in play, which is very, very important. And then lastly, with this T4 upgrade here, he's going to be clearing all charged on all enemies, which is very, very notable, guys. Again, I already see the matter of importance here. Special definitely makes sense to obviously upgrade this one because of the reduction of the safeguard. Ultimate ability, same thing, removing charges, especially notable from some of the enemies that we're up against in arena, but as well, this applies outside of arena. And then lastly, Fantastic Sun passive ability. If this character has 2 or more Fantastic Four MCU allies, enemies cannot have their speed increase except by positive effects. And we've seen this dynamic being added to the game quite a bit now because of the counter to the speed meta. So really, really notable there. Lowers resistance of enemies by 25% as this increases with you bringing it up. And then as well, when a Fantastic Four MCU ally uses their special ultimate, he also does fill up their speed bar by 4% for himself and all allies. So this is where it's going to be notable in arena because it may be up to the number of MCU allies that you have, actually. That's going to determine who gets that first turn advantage. But I still think the best team in the arena is going to probably involve some sort of mythic character theory crafting. So we'll see how that kind of plays out in the coming week. And then lastly, guys, with the upgrade here for the T4, until this character takes a turn, or completes his first turn, he's going to be gaining percentage speed in addition to whatever the Fantastic Four allies are on his team. And as well, an additional boost of speed if they're already on the team as MCU. And then on top of that, in arena, if he has 2 or more of these MCU allies, all other allies also gain 50% speed. So this speed dynamic is going to be applying to the other allies, excluding the Fantastic Four, which is why it's going to be basically whoever gets their turn first and to unload their damage, and the silence mechanic, which prevents enemies or allies from gaining positive or negative effects, right? So that's why it's going to be very, very important to see that dynamic, guys. For that reason, though, from an ISO-8 perspective, like I said, I kind of suspected this already. You got to upgrade everything, but I would definitely leave his basic for last. Special, ultimate, and passive definitely need to be starting off. As for, you know, going through the motions here for the ISO-8 perspective, though, I do feel like he's going to be best slotted in as a raider right now because he's going to be casting already damage across the board, especially against the enemies, casting vulnerables. So you know it's going to matter, and as well, him doing notable damage as well as that controller character role. So I think I'm going to start off with a raider and then possibly pivot to a striker if I do see value there, because the reason you would want to consider a striker is the fact that he can flip positives and negatives, vice versa, right? So that's where he can get a little extra kind of value from that. But Raider, I think I'm going to start things off to see how it does, and then if we're not getting enough folks utilizing the vulnerables, then a striker might not make might actually make sense as well. So that's my plan in a nutshell, guys. I'll link my video again on the potential trap for next week, guys, so definitely check that out. Hopefully this is helpful, guys. Let me know what you think, comments below, and don't forget there are red stars tied back to Franklin Richards today. Make sure you take advantage of the extra 15% promotion. Thank you for your time as always, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.